Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. It looks like the leveling and loot box system in Overwatch is going to be getting a bit of a nerf. So this was something that they changed on the PTR a little while ago. Basically, they kind of redid how the leveling system works, and it looks like they're going to be pushing it to the live servers. In fact, Jeff Kaplan just commented on it on the official Blizzard Overwatch forums, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me read the official PTR patch notes so you can better understand what the situation is. So this is under the general sections. It says, made several adjustments to the amount of experience needed to level. The amount of experience needed to reach levels 2 through 13 remains unchanged. The amount of experience needed to reach levels 14 through 100 has been slightly reduced. The amount of XP needed to reach levels after 100 is now constant. It's 20,000 XP per level, and will no longer reset after each promotion. So here are the developer comments. With the way our experience curve works right now, players move fairly quickly through the first 23 levels of each tier. Level 1 to 23, 100 to 123, 201 to 223, etc., etc. This is because when a player is promoted after 100 levels, the experience curve resets. While this reset has worked pretty well so far, it also encouraged some people to stop playing the game after they're promoted, hoping to save those first 23 levels for a seasonal event. To help address this, the experience needed for all post-promotion levels, which is anything after the first 100 levels, is now consistently 20,000 experience and will no longer reset. The total XP required to gain 100 levels after a promotion is roughly unchanged, but the total experience required to earn the first 100 levels, that is before the first promotion, has been slightly reduced. So basically, if people knew that a seasonal event was coming up soon, they would try to get to a level 100 and then they would simply stop playing. When the seasonal event came out, they would start playing again, and because they just prestiged and all of their XP would reset, basically they could get a whole bunch of loot boxes really, really quick. Because going from level 50 to 51 takes a little bit of time, whereas when you would prestige and you get reset all the way back to level 1, a single game could actually level up you multiple times, and you get a couple loot boxes from just the one game. Now, I think the main problem with this was because of the summer games and the way that Blizzard handled it. Blizzard said, we're going to do this seasonal event. You can only get this stuff during the event. You cannot use credits to get it. There was only two ways to get stuff from summer games. You either had to level up, get a loot box, and hope you were lucky enough to get the thing you wanted, or you would have to use real money to purchase the loot boxes from Blizzard. Now, because you couldn't get any of that stuff after the event was over, people basically tried to level up. They got the loot boxes they could. If they were unlucky, then basically they either had to not get the summer game stuff, or they would have to fork over some more hard-earned cash to Blizzard in order to get more loot boxes, and once again, hope that they would actually get the items they want. I mean, I saw horror stories of people spending like 50 or 100 bucks on loot boxes and still not getting the summer game stuff they were actually trying to get. So when the Halloween Terror event came around, a lot more people were like, you know what, screw that buying loot boxes stuff. I'm just going to get up to level 100. I'm going to wait to prestige. As soon as the Halloween Terror event drops, I'm just going to use my XP reset in order to get a whole bunch of loot boxes. And as a result, Blizzard saw that a lot of people prior to the Halloween Terror event simply stopped playing. Like, they just dropped off. Like, people were not playing the game because they didn't want to level up, and they didn't want to prestige because they wanted to save those levels in order to get a lot of the Halloween loot boxes. Now, thankfully, Blizzard learned from their mistakes with the summer games that a lot of people were pretty pissed off about, that you couldn't use credits in order to buy the stuff, and with the Halloween Terror event, you can use credits. Now, granted, it costs like 3 times as much to get the seasonal stuff, but I'm okay with that because they're supposed to be, you know, special limited edition stuff. So now players don't need to save up their levels in order to actually get this seasonal stuff. Now they just have to save up their credits. So basically you have to decide, you know, do I want to buy this legendary now, or do I want to save up some credits for the next seasonal event and maybe get something a lot cooler? So now it's up to you to decide on that. Alright, so let's switch gears back to the leveling nerf. Over on the official Blizzard Overwatch forums, Jeff Kaplan responded to some people who were asking about the leveling nerf, and he said, overall, the XP change should be a benefit to the player base. Had this change been in effect for the Halloween Terror event, we would have given out more loot boxes. More players would have gotten more stuff. This change has nothing to do with a desire on our part to drive more or less interest in loot box sales. This change is to prevent players from binge behavior or halting play, and to prevent players who are not close to prestiging from feeling like they are somehow missing out on bonus items. This change exists to add levity to the leveling experience. We want you playing Overwatch or not playing Overwatch when you don't want to. That's the entire reason for this change, nothing else. Alright, so my longtime fans know that I call it like I see it. I'm not going to kiss Blizzard's ass at all. Not now, not ever. I'm not their employee. I never have been. I probably never will be. So I'm going to be totally blunt with you guys, alright? The whole reason for them doing this, I'm sure that they want to kind of space out the gameplay. I don't think they want people to just up and stop playing, because that makes people frustrated that they can't play the game until the seasonal event starts, and it just, you know, it damages their brand and it damages the community, and they want people to have fun. They don't want them to not be able to play because of this whole situation. But come on. Look, I don't think that Blizzard wanting you to purchase loot boxes is the only reason for this change. I don't think it's the main reason for this change. But don't try to tell me that them wanting you to buy loot boxes with real money is not at least part of the reason for this change. Because now people can't get 20 or 30 loot boxes real quick in a couple of days when a seasonal event starts. Now, the only way they can do that is if they actually fork over some of their hard-earned cash and buy them. So again, I don't think that's the only reason. I don't think it's the main reason. It may, you know, it might be pretty far down the list, but don't try to tell me that that's not at least part of the reason. Now, when he says that more loot boxes would have been given out during the Halloween Terror event, I'm sure they would have been overall, but the average player probably would have seen less. It depends on where you fall in the whole leveling thing. If you were up in the higher levels, then yeah, you would have probably gotten maybe one more loot box. But if you were really low in that level, like 2 or 3 or whatever, you probably would have gotten half as many of the Halloween loot boxes, because instead of it only being like 2,000 or 3,000 XP to level up, now it's going to be 20,000 XP to level up. So yeah, overall, more loot boxes are going to go out, but the average number of loot boxes for people is probably going to go down on an individual basis. Now, outside of the seasonal events, the new XP system isn't really that big of a deal. Each prestige rank under the new system, I'm talking about going from level 101 to 200 or 201 to 300, each prestige rank in the new system is about 25,000 XP more than it was in the old system. So it's basically a little bit more than a full level. So rather than going up 100 levels like you would in the old system, the new system you effectively go up 101 levels, basically. So for seasonal events, the new XP system kinda sucks. But outside of the seasonal events, it's not really that big of a deal. The only issue is that it makes prestiging kind of a non-event. Like, you get up 100 levels, and then you prestige, you get a little star, and then that's it, right? I mean, at least now, under the old system, when you prestige, it's like, all right, you're looking forward to being able to get a whole bunch of loot boxes really quick. Like, that's kind of your reward for getting a prestige. Nobody cares about the little star on your, player icon thingy. It's the fact that your XP resets, and then you basically get to get a whole bunch of levels really quick and a bunch of cool loot boxes. So now it's just like a non-event. It's like, yeah, I got an extra star, who cares? So if they're going to change the XP system, right? And they're basically making it so that it's, more equal across the board. All right, fine, whatever. But maybe they should add a little something extra for when you prestige. Maybe, I don't know, give you a bonus loot box, or maybe a couple of credits or something. I don't know. Just make prestiging a little bit better than, yay, an extra star. Wow, big deal. Well, that's going to be about it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think about the new XP system in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe because there's lots more. Remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault.